A lot of me. I hope to not have to bring you bad news anymore after this. This is a live look at high temperatures that we've already achieved. We made it to 70 degrees almost already here in Valpo, 72 in South Bend, 70 in Kalamazoo. There's been a stationary front around if you were north of that boundary that I was talking about in the weather update this morning. It was cool and very stable in the low 40s. If you were south of that, you were very warm. Well, here's a look at current temperatures now. That boundary has sagged south. So in Valpo, this was literally just an hour ago. I ran to grab lunch. When I got to my car, it was 61 degrees in my car thermometer. By the time I grabbed lunch and got back here to the studio, it was 49 degrees. That was about in a 10-15 minute span. So that boundary just sagged to the south. I expect that to move back north after this initial round of rain gets through. So it's 49 here in Valpo. We've fallen 20 degrees in the last hour or so. Still warm in South Bend at 67 degrees, 63 in Rensselaer and in Kankakee. Again, south of that boundary, you're very warm. North of that boundary, you're cool and stable. Expect this temperature map to begin to, the warmer colors to lift back north. Wind gusts, I was also saying earlier in my weather update today that winds were going to pick up. They really haven't yet here, only gusting about 10 miles an hour. As soon as this initial batch of rain rolls through, I expect wind gusts to pick up probably 15 to 20 miles an hour. Nothing like it was earlier this week, but enough for some breezy conditions to bring in that warmer air. Moisture, that's been the big question mark about this severe weather setup the whole time was, is it going to be sticky enough? It really doesn't feel like a storm day if you walk outside. It's cool, it's stable here in Valpo now that we're north of that boundary. Dew point at 40 degrees. Lafayette and Indy, your dew points are reaching 50. But in Peoria, Springfield, off towards the Mississippi River, dew points are already in the low to mid 50s. That air is moving our way as the winds turn out of the south of this boundary. Take a look at radar. Over Lake Michigan, there's actually a wintry mix going on. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Over the middle of Lake Michigan, where water temps are only in the 30s, it's probably snowing. Thankfully, it's not snowing here. It's chilly. Just had some heavy rain move through Valpo. We now have strengthening storms along the warm front over by Kankakee. There's lightning associated with this. That's not showing up on here yet. Zooming out, big picture wise, I expect this to be the line of concern. Those storms in central Illinois, that's going to be what's going to impact us after dinner tonight. Again, I think our main threat for severe weather is 5 to 8 p.m. tonight. And that line is just now getting to Peoria, so it's still 2-3 hours out yet. No active warnings as of my last check, but this line is going to continue to get its act together as it has some sunshine to work ahead of it. Taking a look closer to home, this is the warm front tracking north. This is a little off, getting into Peoria now, not Peoria, Aurora now, into Chicago by 3:04, Kankakee. It's saying about 10 minutes, but it's already there. It's moving faster than expected. There is a special weather statement out for this storm. The main concern, if you're north of that boundary, which you are in Aurora, Bloomingdale, Wheeling, Waukegan, McHenry, Algonquin, you're north of that stationary front, you're sitting in the upper 30s to low 40s. It's cool. You're like, is it really ever going to warm up? Special weather statement again for this area. Winds up to 30 miles an hour with half-inch size hail. Timing out this southern portion of the line, getting into Peoria by 3 o'clock, Springfield 3:15, Bloomington proper at about 3:30. That, again, this will be the line that affects us after dinner tonight. Timing out the backside of this rain, it's probably actually coming to an end right about now, if not in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Michigan City come to an end closer to 3 o'clock. Here's the warm front. This is when temperatures are going to rebound after this guy rolls through, getting into Rich at about 2:40, Gary 3 o'clock. So I'd probably think 3:15 here in Valpo. I don't know that we see any rain from this part of the line, but just expect the warm front to lift through and temperatures to rebound and the wind to come out of the south. Here's our outlook for severe weather. This yellow area is a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. That's the slight risk. This orange area, it moved a little closer to us. If you watched the weather update this morning, it was really only like this corner of our viewing area. It lifted ever so slightly to the north. That's my main concern for any brief spin-up tornadoes, is going to be that orange shaded area. Speaking of those severe risks, damaging winds, in my opinion, is still the main threat here in Valpo. I think it's going to be more of a line than scattered, and you already saw that it's forming into a line across central Illinois, so I think damaging winds is going to be the main threat this evening. Any storm that stays isolated out ahead of everything else that has all of the warm air to itself, some hail up to an inch, inch and a half, and a spin-up tornado or two, especially west of the state line, and all of the storms are going to be loud today. Here's the energy that the storms would have to work with at 4 o'clock. If we can peek the sun out again, warm up, get back into the low to mid 60s, we're going to have some energy for these storms to work with. You see, most of it is still to our west where the higher threat for severe weather is. And then by 6 o'clock, you can see those brighter reds indicating some higher energy for the storms to work with. And then it's all out of here after sunset tonight. Timing things out, the rain's going to come to an end by 3 o'clock. This is actually a little slow. This is suggesting some clearing. If we see clearing, game on for a stronger round 2. You can already see that line taking shape from Rockford down to Peru, down to Pontiac, down towards Peoria and central Illinois. That will continue to lift off to the north and east. This has it getting into Chicago. These could be strong to severe at about 6 o'clock. We also have another storm lifting north in Valpo impacting us at about 7 o'clock. Might have some showers around by 7, 8, but I think we're done by 7, especially with the way things are moving faster than expected. By 3 o'clock, it's back to reality. A changeover to snow. I'm not necessarily expecting a lot of accumulation from this, but it's just going to be annoying when you wake up tomorrow morning and see snow covering your car. It'll be gone as soon as the sun comes out, and the sun will be out after lunch. It's going to be cooler tomorrow, though, behind this cold front. Timing things out the rest of this evening. If we can see the sun again, 62 degrees will rebound, holding into the 60s until those storms hit. Our main threat for severe weather is going to be damaging winds from 6 to 8 p.m. tonight. And then we fall after midnight, rain changing over to snow. 7-day forecast here. Cooler tomorrow. This is really just back to reality. We've been spoiled the last few days. 75 degrees yesterday, made a run for 70 again today. Then we're warmer Friday, and then we kind of settle into the 40s, near 50 degrees to round out the rest of the week. Zoe is going to have a weather update. If any warnings happen tonight, we will go live again. Right now, again, main time for severe weather is going to be 5 to 8 p.m. tonight. Main threat going to be damaging winds once that line gets going. I'll go back to radar here in a second. Bear with me. Again, it's going to be this line that's going to be the line of concern, not getting in here until 5:30, 6 o'clock. Zoe and the crew should have a live update 5:30, 6 o'clock should any warnings happen. And then I believe it's going to be Sebastian tomorrow with your weather update, if I'm not mistaken. But until then, Zoe will have an update for you this evening, and we'll continue to monitor everything here in the Weather Center.